In this video, we're going to study the first lesson in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy's English composition course. In this course, we're going to study several hundred short and simple lessons on different topics in English composition, and we're going to do a great deal of practice writing themes or written exercises to put these topics and lessons into practice and improve our skill in the art of composition. This first lesson is titled Pleasure in Expressing Ideas and provides us with a good start to the study of composition. What we're going to do in this course is simply read through each lesson together, discuss the topics that are covered, and then get into our exercises and put these things into practice. All right, so let's read together through lesson 1, titled Pleasure in Expressing Ideas. Though we all enjoy talking, we cannot write so easily as we talk. Though we all enjoy talking, we cannot write so easily as we talk, nor with the same pleasure. We seldom talk about topics in which we are not interested, and concerning which we know little or nothing, but we often have such topics assigned to us as subjects for compositions. What the author is pointing out here is that one of the difficulties in composition classes or writing classes in modern schools is that what the classes do and what the classes ask students to do is the opposite of what we actually do when we speak. And one of the keys of writing well is to simply write down what we would say, because writing is simply taking spoken words or spoken composition and setting it down into writing. It's not some separate art that's a mystery that has to be studied separately. We want to communicate effectively, and as the author says, we all enjoy talking, but we can't write as easily as we talk. And he says we seldom, rarely talk about topics in which we're not interested. How often do you talk about a topic with your family or your friends that you're not interested in? Very rarely. And the author says, though that's true of our speech, when it's time to sit down for a writing class, teachers often ask us to do the opposite, to write, which is more difficult than speaking to begin with. But then they also ask us to write about topics that we're not interested in, or topics that we haven't studied much or don't have much experience in. And this all leads to a sort of frustration and discouragement in writing. In this course, we're going to avoid that. And the author is going to explain how we're going to avoid these problems of modern composition classes. He says, under such conditions, where students are asked to write about topics that they're not interested in, or they don't have any experience in or knowledge of, under such conditions, it's no wonder that there is little pleasure in writing. The ideas that we express orally in spoken communication, the ideas that we express orally are those with which we are familiar and in which we are interested. And we tell them because we wish to tell them to someone who is likewise interested and who desires to hear what we have to say. That's what our normal daily conversation consists of. If something happens and you've experienced some event, you don't run to someone who you think is going to have no interest in that event, but you seek out someone who you believe is interested and you share the news with them by conversation. Under the conditions of modern writing classes, however, when we take students who are asked to write about things they're not interested in and write them to be shared with other students who are also not interested in them, it's no wonder that students learn to have very little pleasure in writing or in the study of the art of writing. We do in writing classes the opposite of what we do in everyday conversation. The expression of ideas, when we share topics that are of interest to us with people whom we know are also interested in those topics, the writer says such expression of ideas is enjoyed by everyone. If we but choose to express the same kinds of ideas for the same reason, there is an equal or even greater pleasure to be derived from the expression of ideas in writing. The purpose of this course is to show you how to express ideas clearly, effectively, and with pleasure. The purpose of this course is to show you how to express ideas clearly, effectively, and with pleasure. So, the main goal of this first lesson is to encourage you by sharing with you a problem in modern writing courses that you may have experienced. Modern writing courses often ask students to write about topics they're not interested in and share their writing with readers who are also not interested in the topics or in the writing of other students. And this makes us uncomfortable in the study of writing. Yet we're not uncomfortable in communication and talking. We love to share news and stories and events with other people. We seek out friends and relatives to talk to about events in our lives, experiences we have, things we've studied, and so on. But most school writing courses don't follow that same pattern. By fixing that in this writing course, we can learn how to express ideas clearly, effectively, and with pleasure through writing. And that's going to be the goal of this course. So that's all for lesson 1, a simple introduction to the study of writing, one of the important challenges in the art of composition for modern students, and a simple explanation of how we're going to fix that problem and go about the study of composition in a way that you should enjoy and take pleasure in. All right? So that's all for lesson 1. I encourage you to read through that lesson for yourself, and when finished, simply move on to lesson 2. We'll continue reading through these lessons together, and you'll simply stop and complete the exercises as they come up, and I'll make sure I walk you through those exercises so everything is crystal clear. Okay? I hope that's a helpful start to this course. Good luck in the study of English composition. God bless.